Hello there, I'm Eva Pilgrim. Thanks for streaming with us. Week 3 of testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial, starting with the music mogul's former assistant, Capricorn Clark, taking the stand.
Why would we need a 50-foot bed?
I mean, TD Jakes ain't small. I'm just saying. If it's a group thing, it's a group thing. You gotta think about, you got Rick Ross, you got Khaled, we talk about heavy hitters.
They have found Sean Combs not guilty of leading a criminal enterprise, not guilty of racketeering conspiracy. They will now move to the other 4 counts, 2 of them on and on, and we have not guilty now on count 2, which was trafficking of Cassandra Ventura. Sean Combs has been found not guilty of trafficking when it comes to his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura.
Gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a month at the mansion party. You be looking at all the goddamn rooms, and you around and look in the wrong room. Come here. Is that kissing? Is one of the professor over?
This Diddy trial has escalated into a full-fledged media frenzy and is no longer only a celebrity case. What began with a single lady, Cassie courageously exposing her traumatic experience, has now grown into something far more than anybody could have predicted. This isn't your normal rumor from Hollywood. We're talking about names that will blow your mind, leaked recordings, and courtroom drama. The tale first seemed to be centered on Cassie and the horrible things she claims Diddy did, including strange parties and complete control over her life. However, it has now taken a drastic turn. According to insiders, the trial has entered a risky area. These are allegedly heated graphic audio recordings, not just ordinary phone conversations with Diddy, Will Smith, and even Meek Mill referenced. And this stuff, the court is available for play. That hotel footage was the beginning of it all a few days ago. Just grainy video, no sound. That was considered to be it. However, the courtroom heard something even more serious. Actual audio behind closed doors, cell phones were prohibited, not a recording, nothing but quiet. The whole room froze according to one witness since the footage was so explicit and unsettling.
She testified she was held against her will twice, at one point alleging she was forced from her apartment and into a car to take Combs and one of his bodyguards to the home of rapper Kid Cudi to, quote, kill him. Cudi was dating his ex, Cassie Ventura, at the time. Clark also claimed Combs threatened to kill Ventura if she didn't convince Kid Cudi not to tell police that Combs was allegedly involved with a break-in at his house. Clark also telling the jury that a large man repeatedly administered lie detector tests to her on suspicion that she stole jewelry loaned to Combs. She testified that this man said if she flunked the test, they're going to throw you in the East River.
The judge ruled detention is mandatory with a Mann Act conviction, and there was no, there was limited exceptions there. Why exactly is he not out on bail, I guess, in layman's terms?
Under the statute in federal court, when you're convicted of certain types of offenses, detention is automatic. The defendant in this particular case was already detained, so it's a heavy burden for their defense to show that, well, judge, he should be released despite the statute because these are the extraordinary and compelling circumstances that should allow his release and show that he's not a danger to community, he's not a flight risk, and he'll abide by all the terms and conditions of release. The judge apparently didn't think that the defense has met that burden, which is, as I said, a pretty high burden.
How big of a loss is this for the government? I mean, you're talking about major charges, racketeering, conspiracy. You have prosecuted these at this level, Joel. How big of a loss for them to put this case up and then for them to lose on the 3 most serious charges?
I don't like to say say loss, wins and losses, because it's the system. The jury system spoke. I will say there's disappointments, and I'm sure the prosecution in this particular case is disappointed. They had a lot of witnesses. They had to deal with a lot of victims that said this happened. But it went to the jury, and the jury is a system, and that's what we have to have faith in. And they spoke, and that's the decision that is there. So I'm sure the prosecution's disappointed in it, but he's still convicted of 2 felonies.
We heard last night there were some jury members with unpersuadable views on this case. We know last night that racketeering, they were, that was not decided last night. What happened in the 1 hour this morning when they all got together and deliberated? Because it only took an hour.
I wish I knew. If I did, I'd be hired as a jury consultant. But that's a difficult time. I mean, from the prosecution and the defense, you don't know what's happening because we don't have access to what's happening in the jury room. And you have 12 different people from all different parts of, cross-section community debating about how they see the evidence and view it. And they came back and told the court that, well, we can't reach an agreement. And then at that point in time, the court could have given what's called an Allen charge. My understanding, they gave a partial Allen charge. And the Allen charge is kind of dreaded by some people, especially defense, because some people view that it forces the jury to make a decision. But it's not really the case. It's been tried and tested in the appellate courts, and the court goes through and reads it specifically and says, listen, jury, you're in the best position to decide this case. You've heard it for this many days or weeks or months. No one else is going to do a better job than you are right here. So I'm instructing you to go back and take a look at your viewpoints, take a look at, discuss it amongst the other jurors, apply the law that I give you and see what happens. It's my understanding in this case they give a partial Allen charge, and the jury went back and listened to the judge and came back.
Following the playback of the recording, the court released a fresh list of witnesses. This time, including persons who were formerly close to Diddy, such as former employees, partygoers, and artists, rather than just random individuals seeking notoriety. Those who were present, those who saw events, some of them are now at last, prepared to speak out while being protected by the law. Dawn Richards is one of them. You may recognize her from the girl group. Diddy used to manage Danity Kane. She seemed exhausted as she exited the courtroom after testifying. According to sources, she supported Cassie's assertions. She said that since supper wasn't ready on time, she once saw Diddy beating Cassie. He reportedly instructed Dawn and her bandmate to keep quiet the next day.
In 2009, did you observe an incident between Puff and Cassie? Yes, she was attacked by Sean and kicked. Did you see more violence by him against Cassie? Often. The government then shows Dawn Richard a picture of Diddy Dirty Money. When were you a member of this group? 2009 to 2011. The incident in 2009 when Sean Combs Cassie, where was it? In Sean Combs' LA home. We were recording. What did he do? He was saying, "Where the F is my food?" He grabbed a black skillet with eggs and tried to hit her over the head. Cassie dropped to the ground. What did she do? She was in a fetal position. Then what? Sean Combs was kicking her in the head and the body and then dragged her up to the first floor. Glass was breaking and yelling. I was scared for her and for me too. Did you intervene? No. Did you call the police? No. The next day, what happened? He said it had been passionate and she was okay, and that it would be better if we didn't talk, that people could end up missing. How did you understand that? Death. Diddy's team then yells objection. Then the judge calls a sidebar and ends her testimony for the day. But Dawn Richard will be back on Monday to give the rest of her full testimony against Diddy. Right before they brought Dawn Richard in, they actually had a Homeland Security agent testify against Diddy about when they came and arrested him to take him to jail. So let's go ahead and get into that. The government asked, when Sean Combs was arrested, where did you go? The Park Hyatt Hotel, room 2115, where he was staying. They show a picture to the jury of his hotel suite, and what did you do? We assigned a letter to each room and began to search. What was your role? I took photographs of items and then signed them on the 6051 form. What was found in the closet? They then show a picture to the jury, and it was plastic bags full of Johnson & Johnson baby oil and Astroglide bottles.
Guys, it's getting real out here. Allegedly, Diddy is facing RICO charges.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. Puff was the first one that came through and made us feel like, it was us.
Then there was a single moment that spoke 1,000 words. Diddy's daughters left the courtroom mute and palate nothing. I didn't even look at the cameras. People claim that this occurred immediately after the playback of that music. Everything seemed considerably heavier after their response.
You guys really sat through that whole case and kept your spirits high. I really like that for y'all. That look great. Keep your spirits up, y'all.
Diddy's trial. I mean, this Diddy situation is getting nastier and nastier and nastier. Rob, before I read this, is there anything you have? Obviously, the only thing we can see is paintings and drawings and all this other stuff.
And that artist should never, ever hold a paintbrush or a drawing pencil. That artist, in this the case, is horrible. And we'll show. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me just. So Cassie Ventura testified Sean Diddy Combs controlled freak-off sessions, directing her to have male escorts, stating sometimes Sean and the escort would have intercourse with me. It was just like a lot happening at once, and specifying that escorts would ejaculate usually when it was okay for them. Per Sean, often, this is a New York Post story, folks, so earmuffs. Often on, if you got kids, just don't, I'm going to read this next part. I should have given you a warning. But if you got kids, pause the video and then continue. Often on her body, after which, are we really reading this? Urinating on her? Saying sometimes
it's pretty,
Sean, he himself or the escort would urinate on me, including an overwhelming incident where she choked because too much urine was in her mouth. What?
Yep.
Ventura detailed the degrading nature of these drug-fueled freak-offs, noting she was high on ecstasy and MDMA, feeling sick almost every time, yet Combs would push her to continue, saying, continue on with the intercourse, even if I felt like vomiting or if I was vomiting. She described the session where a blow-up pool filled with baby oil applied every 5 minutes to keep participants glistening, and revealed Combs once left the freak-off to comfort rival Suge Knight. What?
Yeah.
No, to confront Suge Knight, not comfort.
To confront Suge to confront Suge Knight.
Hey, Suge, let me get real comfortable with you, baby.
Please don't do anything stupid.
Think clearly. Will Smith's name was called, not only rumors, but linked to the real court recordings. The internet exploded as quickly as it did. People began rewatching previous interviews, exposing embarrassing moments between Diddy and Will, and even bringing up a joke made by comedian Lul about them being more than just buddies. Later on, Jaguar Wright came out and discussed this.
What you're saying reaches the ears of Will Smith, and he needs to get these. If there's smoke, there's fire, let me grab a fan.
Number one, as far as Will Smith is concerned, until he does right by all of those children that were harmed and corrupted while in his care, children that grew up to be men, boys like Bashir Gray, August Alsina, your own son. Like, your own son. Do people forget about that voice clip that I played from Brother Belial?
Hey.
Has anybody seen Belial?
Come on.
I asked him, didn't I ask for him last year?
Come on.
Where's Belial? Is he messing with Cuba? Have they all moved to Bali with Russell Simmons and Kevin Liles?
I would always say it is interesting when you speak on, Jaden Smith, and you see the hug with with
Bieber.
Justin Bieber, and then for Bashir, you see him all of a sudden fighting over Sydney Starr with Eddie Winslow. It does question what happens in the entertainment industry that makes someone go into just being very close with men on men contact. It's interesting. I'll say the least.
You want to know the thing that bothers me most about Bashir Gray? I actually think he's doing all of this so they'll take him back in the club. And they're not. They're gonna keep gaslighting you and playing with you, promising you one thing or another.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you gotta do that. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, and go into rehab. I had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Do you think the person that the you of then was on a path of self-destruction?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have, for sure, 100%. Yeah. It would have been no bueno. It was bad. I don't know if I'd be alive, for sure. It was dark. So I'm very, very grateful to have influences in my life that have played a huge part in me seeing their relationship with Jesus and their relationship with their wives and their relationship with their kids and saying that's what I want. But I want to definitely tell my story so that if that resonates to anybody, that they can hopefully learn from it.
He said that the Smiths are aware that he's speaking the truth, which is why he has never been sued. This was further supported by Leanie, who said that Will and Dwayne Martin were closer than most people realized.
It was the woman that everybody wanted, and Will needed that validation to have that type of woman.
You saw her say that Will Smith had...
I am saying to you, if a woman is used to something the size of a baby leg and you come in with a pinky toe, there's nothing you can do to please her. You can buy her 80 cars, you can get her 80 private jets. If she's itching for that baby leg, she want that baby leg. You can beat a person so much that they fall into submission.
And who needs enemies when they got friends like you?
Oh, I could tell you what goes on the inside. Everybody else is just speculation.
Somebody told me I made my pictures in the book. You know, your picture's in the book and your name is in the book. So you like you're doing some real elegant pimp. I'm blowing you up. I love that. I'm blowing you up.
This is what Jada makes the new people do. And I ain't gonna say new, they probably been there after myself, right? They will make you check into a rehab. And they'll pay for the rehab. Even though you're not on drugs, they're gonna pay for the rehab. And you have to go if you want to work with them. And then I saw sexual acts that when I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin.
Okay.
Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So 3 minutes later, after them telling me, hey, you got eyes on Will, we need him to come watch this. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like,
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah, I believe, somebody, has the power to pull the trigger to make, this stuff, this domino effect happen.
Ice Cube was saying if you read through the line what Ice Cube was saying, he was saying that all us or all of them has done the same Diddy been doing. And because he pissed somebody off, they targeted him. They're gonna make an example out of him. Whatever you do at this point in time, you understand, we gonna crush everything that you got to show the other people behind him you don't come out and speak up or speak out on us. What Ice Cube was saying, brother, was that it ain't only Diddy picked on, targeted. That means there's other people that they know, but they just not gonna say anything about it.
That's why the game is twisted.
Imagine you found out Jay-Z never wrote his You would look at him so different.
You look at everybody different when you find out that yeah, you know, in hip hop, you know, it's like you're an MC or you're a vocalist. Which one?